Pantry, and today, as you see in the title, we are canning apple pie filling. Remember, I showed you all those apples, and actually, I haven't even made a dent in them, honestly. This container was heaping. There's still more than that left out in the garage, and I've got this bowl. I'm canning, actually, currently canning apple butter. It came out so good. My 5-quart crock pot made 6 12-ounce jars and 1 little 4-ounce jar. I mean, scraping the thing out with a spatula, it came out perfect. So, as I said in that video, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit more this time because I want a little bit more of that apple butter for people. It makes a great Christmas gift, and so I'd like to have some of that on hand. So what I've got here, you can see my pile of cores and peels, and I've been using this apple peeler. I've got this bowl full of acidulated water. Now you can use just lemon juice, and that's what I'm using. You could use fruit fresh or citric acid to keep your apples from turning brown. So these apples have been washed, but for this I will wash those again because I'm going to try my hand at apple cider vinegar. Fermenting is really a good way to use up some stuff that you might have. You could also use part of that to do a sourdough starter. Again, you're fermenting. Okay, get my peel going off backwards, otherwise it'll wind around the apple and not give you a nice end result. You have to kind of pick it off of there. So there's my peel. I take my apple off. Maybe take your apple off, pull your spring back again so you're ready to load another apple. And I don't slice them on that peeler because I want nice wedges, if that makes sense. I put wedges in my apple pie, and so that's what I want to see in my jar. I'm visualizing what my pie filling is going to look like in the jar. And I wanted to show you what book I'm referencing. I am using the Amish canning cookbook. This is what I have found to be the best for pie fillings. It really has very simple to understand, very precise measurements. I mean, it comes down to the last tablespoon. You're gonna get exactly what they say. And this apple pie filling needs sugar, clear gel, which I have, cinnamon, nutmeg, cold water, or you can use apple juice. And I'm going to use an apple blend. It's a juice, but it's a blend of 3 different apples for more flavor. And okay, and then so you would use 5 cups of apple juice, 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice, and that makes it, the acidity in the canning jar will be high enough that, and you want to use bottled lemon juice. Don't use fresh lemon juice. You're not sure of the acidity of each lemon, so you want to use bottled lemon juice. But always refer to a reputable source, whether it be online, the Ball Canning book, the Amish Canning Cookbook. I will say I read over some other recipes, and I watched somebody as I'm gearing up to do apple pie filling. I like to marathon videos from other people, just in case I pick up a tip or a hint or something that might, you know, give me a better result. And she actually did apple pie filling from the new Ball Canning book, and I did not care for that way of canning apple pie. To me, the apples, she even said the apples were mushy and her family was disappointed. So you have to thicken it after you open the jar. Clear gel and this Amish recipe, no. You put 2 quarts in a pie plate with your homemade pie crust. It will be a heaping apple pie and everyone will love it. Add some butter on top, put your lattice top on or a solid top, and you're good to go. So here we go. I'm cutting into wedges, and that's what I want to see in my pie, if you can see that. Just a nice wedge. So you get a nice healthy bite when you bite into a piece of pie. Now you could cut those in half too if you wanted, and I have done that, but I really want these to be State Fair beautiful, if that makes sense. And So there you go. Guys, I hope if you like these kind of videos, you'll give me a thumbs up and you'll share this on your social media, wherever you're at, and show other people how easy it is to actually put up what you grow instead of wasting or giving it away. And I'm always up for somebody giving it to me, but I couldn't waste this blessing, that's for sure. So go down in the About section below. I'll leave a link for that Amish cookbook, and you won't regret it. I've given this away as gifts, and actually I gave this to one of these to my manicurist who gave me these apples, and she said the recipe was better than any she'd ever tried. And her apples from last year, she goes, I don't want to use them. I said, use them in apple muffins or something. So hopefully that's what she does. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to keep on keeping on, and I'll be back when we're a little further along. All right. Okay, so now we're ready. I've got enough apples peeled. I need 6 quarts of apples. Each one of these is 2 quarts because it's 8 cups. So, and there's two of these in there, so that equals 6 quarts of apples. That's a lot of apples. And they've been sitting in the acidulated water. So we're gonna need 5.5 cups of sugar, and I'm gonna do that. These apples are sweet, but I know my husband, and he loves pie and he loves sweet, and so I'm gonna leave the sugar content alone. You also need 1.5 cups of clear gel. We need cinnamon, nutmeg, water or juice, but I'm gonna use all juice. So it is kind of confusing because it says 2.5 cups of cold water or apple juice for more flavor. And then it says 5 cups of apple juice. So is that 7.5 cups? I'm gonna guess it's 7.5 cups of apple juice. And if I make a mistake and it's wrong, well, I guess you guys will be here for the mistake. And then 3/4 of a cup of bottled lemon juice. Wash and peel and core your apples. Keep them in anti-darkening acidified water. I'm not blanching the apples. I'm not going to do that because I feel like you overcook them. Okay, so remove apples, drain, place covered pot, keep warm. Combine clear gel and sugar with all your spices in a large pot. And I've got my Cuisinart pot. This is one of my favorite. And I have 3 of these now. And this is the contour pot. I'll try to leave a link for them. They're beautiful, heady bottom, polish up like a mirror. Gorgeous. Absolutely my favorite cookware other than cast iron. So, okay, so let's get our spices and we'll get this. So what you want to do is go ahead and add your sugar into your pot and your clear gel. And this is a little over 1.5 cups. Well, no, I guess it is 1.5 cups. Okay, and you're going to make clear gel, steam, smoke, whatever you want to call it. It's very, very, very fine, just like cornstarch. And it is a modified starch, so you can use it in place of cornstarch. I've used it in cooking, for canning, for all kinds of applications. So I get that pretty well mixed. Now we need to add our cinnamon, and it's calling for a tablespoon. We love cinnamon though, so it's a heaping tablespoon. Nutmeg, a teaspoon. Again, it's going to be heaping. I want this full of flavor. And this is a fresh container of nutmeg. It's really important from year to year that you change out some of those spices because they become less fragrant. They don't keep the flavor like you would think. And then I'm going to use some pumpkin pie spice in here. I'm just going to go ahead and probably a teaspoon, not much. I love this. I get this at Trader Joe's. It's delicious. And the ingredients are, it's a blend of cinnamon, ginger, lemon peel, nutmeg, cloves, and cardamom. And I believe that the cardamom is my favorite part of this spice blend. So I love it. And I put this in my apple butter. Okay, so, and I need enough for that. So we gotta peel some more apples, my goodness. Okay, so you get this all mixed together, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna add your liquid. Let's make sure I'm doing this right. So, come on, sugar. Yes. So you're going to add your apple juice, water and or apple juice, cook over medium heat, medium-high heat, stirring constantly until the mixture thickens and begins to bubble. The pot, to the pot cooking liquid, add the lemon juice and boil for 1 minute, stirring constantly. Fold in your apples and you're ready to jar it up. And you're going to jar these up and water bath can them for, well, it's got altitude. So for my altitude, it's 35 minutes. Oh, and then it tells you how to make a pie. So anyways, this is a great book, guys. I highly recommend you go down and get this book. Put this in your repertoire. I go to it all the time. So we're gonna get over to the stove. I've got to get 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice ready to go when it's time. And that's gonna give you your acid, remember? And you want 5% acidity. So make sure when you buy your lemon juice that you look, because it will tell you that it's 5% acidity. And make sure you do that. And then we're going to get our 7 cups of apple juice. And this is an apple juice blend. So I'm not using any water in my pie filling. And it's probably going to be super sweet because of that. But it'll be full of flavor, right? If you're gonna eat apple pie, go big or go home. I don't want to hear it. Okay, let's go to the stove. I'll bring you back when I've folded the apples in and I'm jarring it up because my jars are hot and ready. Okay, guys, I'm bringing you in close because I want you to see how beautiful this is. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I did put the apples in a little bit sooner and let them bubble and blurp and go on. In the pan, so they did get that little bit of blanching that they want you to have, but they're still going to be very, very firm and delicious. I'm excited. Absolutely wonderful. And this makes 7 quarts. I use wide mouth jars for my pie filling. It's easier to get out and scrape the jar and get every bit of goodness. You want 1 inch of headspace for this recipe. And yum. And the juice question was definitely all juice, no water, and not just juice, or all juice. Never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. So go ahead and debubble your jar. Oh, it smells wonderful. I might have to take a taste of that. Make sure I got everything right before I go canning it up. So just take a little spoon of your gel. Oh my gosh, that is delicious. Absolutely wonderful. And what a pretty, pretty pie filling. Okay, get a damp cloth or napkin. I've got vinegar water here. Go ahead and wipe the rim of your jar really well. Get yourself a lid. I've got an Orchard Road lid here on top and a ring. And we're gonna go fingertip tight. And there you go. This is going in the canner to wait for the rest of the jars. And isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, who doesn't want a jar of apple pie filling? Yum! So pretty. All right, I'm gonna put these in the canner, bring it up to a boil. It will water bath can, what did we say, for 35 minutes? Yes, 35 minutes for anywhere over 3,000 feet above sea level. And then we'll take the lid off the canner, let it rest for 5 minutes and pull them out. And that's when I'll bring you back to show you what we got. All right. So guys, my apple pie filling has been in the canner once it came up to a rolling boil, and you just need it boiling. You don't need to have it boiling over. Adjust your heat so it stays boiling. And then I set my timer for 35 minutes. Then it sat in here with the lid off for 5 minutes. And that's part of the processing time. It's important that you do that. I see a lot of times people are taking them right out, which I don't know that it hurts anything, but just like in a canner, that cool down is part of that processing time. So tip a little bit, but oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And this one is, and I should show you, this one is actually over full because it's bubbling out of the jar. So it's coming up under the lid. That may not seal. This is a good thing to see. Sometimes it's hard to measure that exact 1 inch of head space, but know that things swell inside the canner. So hopefully that's the only jar. I did tell Michael I'd make him a pie, so there you go. And look how beautiful these are. Absolutely gorgeous. It's got that amber cinnamon look in here. It just looks beautiful. I'm super excited about this. And oh, it's gorgeous. So let's get the rest of these out of the canner. And 7 quarts of apple pie filling. I will let you know in the next video whether or not that jar seals. A lot of times it will. It's kind of normal to have that. And I found that using the clear gel, it does expand in the jar. So it really needs that inch of headspace. So hopefully I didn't overfill that one in my excitement. Okay, so look down in the about section below and I'll let you know. Or I'll do another video and we'll review what I've done with the apples. Oh my gosh, they're just gorgeous. I don't know if you can possibly see how pretty they are. It absolutely tastes delicious. It looks delicious. I don't know anybody that wouldn't want this on their shelf. And it's going to be shelf stable. Those apples didn't get wasted. And as always, guys, I can't wait to see you next time for another delicious recipe and or canning session. Today was very productive. 6 12-ounce jars and 1 4-ounce jar of apple butter and 7 quarts of apple pie filling, and I'm working on the next batch of apple butter for you guys so you can see the exact recipe or how I do it. I don't really do anything exact. There's always room for error, there's always room for change, and so I want you guys to do the same thing and enjoy what you're doing, and I can't wait to see you next time. I appreciate you all so very, very much. And thank you, Debbie, again, if you're watching this video, for the apples. All right, guys, I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.